we're gonna go with this. All right. 1, 2, go. All right, now I know the people who are watching this video are, probably under the age of 21, and you're not allowed to be consuming alcohol anyway. So this video is, we all know those people who do, who do drink and are going to go to college and going to have a drink. So go to parties, all that kind of stuff. So, so this is for you to inform the other people, those bad apples, okay, how to, this information about why alcohol makes you fatter, okay, and it's pretty simple. Alcohol makes you fat. That's it. They're all simple as that. Many reasons not to, overindulge in alcohol, and we'll talk about some of those in some other parts. But the main one, one of the ones that we're going to talk about here, is talking about making you fat. And there's a couple of reasons why. There's really 4 of them, simple ones. Number one is drinking makes you drink more. Okay, so one beer has just as many calories as like a can of soda. However, how often do you go and just have one beer? If someone's going to a party, they'll usually have 2 or 3 or 4 or more, as far as it goes. And so it's very rare somebody will drink just one beer or one glass of wine, and then that's it. So and that's because as you drink, it makes you make worse decisions. And one of those decisions is I want to drink more. So that's just kind of how it goes. So number 2 thing is it's very significant, a lesser known but more significant factor about drinking is alcohol slows down your metabolism of fats. Okay, so if you think of your body's got to get energy, right? So it has like a line, all right? It's like the first thing in line is carbs. It'll break down carbs first. That's why when a marathon runner goes and runs, they'll do like a carb load, okay? Because they want to load up on carbs first, and then kind of like fats and muscle is like behind carbs. Like they kind of interchange depending on different things. And so those kind of burn they kind of are behind carbs. You got carbs and you got fats and muscles. So if you're going for a marathon, you want to load up on carbs because you don't want to break down a lot of muscle. Fats, yes, but muscles not so much while you're in the middle of running a marathon or an ultra marathon or whatever. So so here's the thing that happens with alcohol. Alcohol cuts the line, okay, and it gets right in front. And when you break down alcohol, it breaks down to something called acetate or acetate, ACETAT. So it breaks down to acetate, and it also breaks down into fat. So it gives you more fat, and acetate burns first. It's more important. It's the first thing that your body will burn. So what it's doing is it's stopping you from consuming, burning the carbs, which turn into fat, and also burning fat in general. All right. There was a study done that says that drinking alcohol, just a couple of beers, will slow her down for several hours. 73% of your metabolism of fats is slowed down for several hours, just after having 2 or 3 drinks. And if you have 4 or 5 more drinks, it can last for a couple of days, 3 or 4 or 5 days, that you'll just be burning alcohol. Okay, you're just burning the alcohol in your system, or the acetate in your system, at that point, versus burning carbs and fat. So even if you're working out, you're not losing fat anymore. The third reason, and I'm going to show you why that happens in a minute. But the third reason is it accompanies, when you drink, it accompanies what's called bad eating habits or irresponsible eating. Drinking typically means you're going out, you're having a party, you're at a place, and then afterwards you want to have some snacks, you want to have fried food, you don't care. You're like, I don't care. I'm going to eat a whole pizza right now. I'm going to eat I want to eat something. And so when you're intoxicated, you tend to make worse decisions about your eating habits, and your brain is suppressed or depressed, as you want to say, and that's what the alcohol does. And so you eat more. And so alcohol, it's been shown that people will eat more on average when they are consuming alcohol with their meal, even just in a restaurant. Okay, more people tend to have dessert or eat dessert off a menu when they are drinking alcohol with their meal than when they aren't. Okay, they're more likely to order more stuff off the meal or order a second meal when they're drinking as opposed to when they're not. So that's the point there. That's the reason why people eat more when they're drinking alcohol. And number 4 is alcohol is very calorie rich. And so as far as what that means is, when you talk about calorie rich, alcohol has about 7 calories per gram. It takes about 7 calories per gram to burn alcohol. Right? When you talk about carbs, When you talk about proteins and carbs, it's about 4 calories per gram to burn. Calorie is just a form of burning. Okay, it's a measure of heat. But anyway, so alcohol is at 7. Fats and carbs are at 4. Proteins and carbs are at 4. Fats are at like 9. Okay, so fats are the have the most calories in them. All right, but let's say you're going out drinking. So let me teach you. Let's go through. I told you before that when alcohol is present, it's the first thing that it burns, and it takes a long time to burn that off. So I'll do some quick math here for you. You don't really need to know the math, but just to help you decipher this, all right? Ethanol, all right? If you want to figure out how many grams of alcohol am I drinking, and how long, if I have this beer, or if I have 2 beers, or if I have 2 glasses of wine, or if I have a couple of shots, how long is it going to take me? How many calories am I actually drinking? Okay, like what am I actually putting in my body? All right, well, it's a fairly simple calculation. Let's just take a bottle of beer. What you have to do is you just take, which is about 355 milliliters. I'll use liters, makes things easier. So like a bottle of beer or Bud is about 355 milliliters of alcohol, of liquid. Okay, the density of ethanol, which is alcohol, is about 0.789 if I remember correctly. And as I'm looking at my notes here, so what you do is you take 0.789, okay, and you times it by the amount of milliliters in the beer, which is 355. So it comes out to about 280 grams. So you don't have to remember that part of the equation. Just remember 280. All right, about a bottle of beer, 280. That's all you got to remember. All right, so let's say so a bottle of beer. Let's say you're having a Bud Light, okay, because they're on. It's happy hour, right? And so Bud Light, is you're talking about typically about 4.2 is the percentage of alcohol in a Bud Light. Okay, so 4.2% of that bottle is actual alcohol. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the 4.2%. So all you got to do is look at the bottle. It says it's 4%. Okay, or 4.2%. 4.2% times the 280. Okay, because we know 280 is the number of alcohol. The grams per alcohol in that bottle, the grams of alcohol in the bottle. All right, so 4.2% times 280 is going to give you about 12. Okay, 11.7 or so. So you got 12 grams of alcohol in a bottle of Budweiser. Right. So then you take the 12, you times it by 7 calories. Right. So that's going to be about 84 calories in that one bottle of Bud. All right. So Bud Light. Bud Light, right? So you drink 3 of those. That's 252 calories that you just drank drinking 3 Bud Lights while you're out with your friends. Now you could probably, if you drank 1 Bud Light an hour and you're out for 3 hours, you could drive. I mean, your body will burn off that alcohol. Typically, you won't be inebriated where you couldn't even drive. So if you drink that over 3 hours, 1 bottle an hour, you'd be fine. But you're talking about 252 calories. So I went to the gym this morning, and it took me 20 minutes on a stepper to burn 252 calories. So if I had drank 3 beers right before that, or the night before, and I woke up early in the morning, so I'm going to go to the gym because I went out drinking last night, that whole 20 minutes, all I was just doing was burn off the alcohol. I didn't affect the fat in my system or the carb in my system or anything. It was just the alcohol that I was burning. So just so you understand how to calculate that, so just take 280. Just about a bottle is about 2. If you're drinking about a bottle of beer, so let's say you're having some like wine coolers. By the way, wine coolers are anywhere between 4 to 7% alcohol. So you're talking about even more calories there. For the ladies who are drinking wine, or some of the guys drinking wine, like it's like a white Zinfandel. Someone goes and has a glass. So maybe you have 2 glasses of that. That might be 3 bottles of beer if you have the big wine glasses. Okay, 2 to 2.5 bottles of wine. Bottles of wine. Glasses of wine will equal maybe 2 to 3 bottles of beer. Well, guess what? White Zinfandel is at 17% alcohol. Okay, so what you're talking about is the 17% times 280. It gives you 47 grams times 7 calories per gram. That's 333 calories for those 2.5 glasses, 3 glasses of wine. And you times that by 3, because now you're doing it by by 3, that's over 1,000 calories in, in 3 glasses of wine or 2.5 glasses of wine, or close to it. You're closing in on 1,000 calories, all right? So you're talking about that's a lot of time in the gym. That's a lot of working out, all right? You know, shots. By the way, if you want to look at the, how do you find out the percentage of alcohol in a glass of in a bottle of alcohol? There's something called proof. Okay, so if you look at the bottle of alcohol, like if you're drinking tequila or something like that, a tequila is typically about 80 proof. Okay, which means it's about 40% alcohol. Now you're not going to have 3 beer bottles of shots. Hopefully not. But you're talking about a large percentage of calories in those shots. And so the point is, overall, it's a lot of calories to burn off, and remember, that's taking the place. That's why I said before in point 2 is that alcohol goes to the front. So if you're drinking the night before, well, you're talking about 3 to 4 days that you're just burning the alcohol that you drink, and you're not burning the fat, especially even if you're going to the gym and stuff. And there are some students, in college that you'll find in college who go out Thursday night and drink, because Thursday night's like, a lot of college students don't take classes on Friday, so they can go out on Thursday night. Thursday night's a big night out of college. So they go out Thursday night and drink, and then they go Friday night and drink, and they go out Saturday night and drink. And they do that each semester or each week, and that's just kind of goes. And some people even drink like other parts of that. I mean, there's, those kids, so the point being is, so if you're doing that, if you're drinking that much, even if you're exercising regularly, just be prepared to say hello to a bigger you, very shortly, as that starts to catch up with you over time. So, not to mention all the other things that go along with, binge drinking and drinking a lot and all that kind of stuff in college. But if you're just looking at it from a weight standpoint or viewpoint, you're going to gain a lot of weight if you're drinking a lot. Pretty simple.